What's up, family? This is another Gemini Thoughts video, and today we're going to talk about traditional versus modern algorithms. Kevin Samuels started this. So, I have a good friend with me. Actually, he's my best friend. He goes by the name of Dex. So we're going to have a discussion in regards to these traditional values versus modern values and where do we go from here. All right, so on that, let's get started. So hey, my best friend Dexter. Dex.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing just fine. We're doing just fine. So we're going to talk about these traditional values. All right, so although I did not grow up in a traditional home, and you did, I grew up in more of a modern home. Although we're like 9 years apart. You were born in 1966, and I was born in 1975. So we're both Generation X, and but although we're Generation X, we have different ways of looking at this thing. All right. So like in my mindset, when it comes to traditional values, I think of father, mother, children. And from what I hear, fathers go out there and work hard, while the mothers work hard in the household. So the children can always be cared for by the parents, and that the father ensures that. Am I right on that?
Yeah.
Okay. So, like for you, did I leave out anything, or do you want to add something to it?
No, well, traditionally, it's connected to nature. And nature says, in most cases, the father and the mother, whatever species they are, or the tribe, or the flock, raise the child. So, tradition reflects nature. So that's how we gauge whether or not we're going right or wrong, because that system has always been created. So that's the system we have to follow.
Oh, okay. So basically what you're saying, if you think about nature, it's not just the parents, it's also the extended family members that participate as well from a traditional standpoint. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, okay. All right. Wow. That's something to think about. Okay. So now when it comes to modern values, okay, so I grew up with a mom. I really don't know who my dad is. She was we grew up pretty much on the system, which I've already disclosed that to you all. And so my mom, pretty much highlighted that you really don't need a man, and that, it is what it is. However, as I've gotten older and then I met my friend here, I saw that it was different. Because growing up with modern values, it's like the woman, whatever she says or whatever the mother says, it is like golden. And with me listening to my mom, it led me down, a path of bad choices. So when I think of modern values and when I think about what it did, that's exactly what it did to me, and not just me and my sisters. Also, when I talk about modern values, it's like the father is just, maybe he participates, maybe he doesn't. It all depends on whether or not the mom wants him to. So it's like with modern values, from my standpoint, it's like the mother, whatever the mother says goes. And if she surrounds herself with a man, that man is always deemed as weak. He doesn't have any power in the household. And even if he's telling her the best thing for her children, she gets upset because it's almost like you're challenging her. So that's where I come from. So when it comes to the modern values, that's how I see it. How about you?
Well, the difference between the modern and the traditional because it's traditional and it always has been, that system is balanced. That's the balance. But on the modern system or value, it's not balanced. So the mother will feel that she will develop a dominant personality, because rearing kids, you have to you need that that male or that testosterone in the house in order to keep things balanced with the kids. So she has to develop that. And then she's working all the time, and that's a male characteristic. So basically, that modern woman is turning into practically she's doing things that male's supposed to do. So now she has to have that male personality naturally, because it's not balanced. That male is not there. His presence not there. And also with the sons, the mother, a lot of mothers, with their sons, they have this mentality that, because their mother needs that testosterone coming from that male or that male presence. So some mothers, quote unquote, look at their sons as their husbands. You see what I'm saying? Because that son gives them that male energy that they need. And because they don't have that relationship with another man, and man could be in and out, I don't know. But she don't want to let that son go because he balanced her. You see what I'm saying? And so now she's know that she balancing him, so now she's treating him better or weakening him and not allowing him to be that man that he's supposed to be. So now she's catering to him, or she can't control him, one or the other. So he realized he's the dominant person in the household now. He's running the household because he's stronger than everybody else in the household. So there's a lot of things that can take place in an unbalanced household, but it's going to be unbalanced. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So the kids grow up without the kids grow up without the father. They lack discipline. So these are the ones that grows up and commit the most crime because they never had to develop discipline. You see what I'm saying? They can do whatever they want to do because parent is not there. You see what I'm saying? There's no discipline. Yeah. So now society has to discipline them, and then they go out and kill. So it's a lot of things happen in a household when there's not a balanced household.
Right. You know what? I want to double back a little bit because as you were speaking, my mother had 4 girls. So we didn't have a brother in the house exerting male dominance or fulfilling that other side, the testosterone side. When you were talking, I was thinking about what happened in my life. So I got 2 sons, which one is the oldest and one is the youngest. And then my daughters are in the middle. And I did see my son trying to exert himself. And then I did see myself, try to be more masculine to calm him down. Because people would tell him that he was the man of the household. And I would tell him that the man of the household are people that pay. And he doesn't pay for anything. But society was just telling him that because they saw me single. So it was almost like they were trying to protect us. But that was, in my opinion, that was bad advice. However, I want to double back to like my mother. So my mother, because she had daughters and that wasn't given, I always saw her with a man. And I always saw her submit to the guy. She would cook for him. She would bring him water. She would treat him good. But with us, she treated us bad. Nothing against her or anything, but it is what it is. And what I saw, and then also my mother was on the sister. So when you talk about masculine women, that she becomes masculine because my mother was receiving aid from the government. She didn't become masculine. She was able to sit back and get her rent paid for, her food provided for, shelter provided for, only because she had kids. So when she had a guy in, the submission was there. Now on my end, looking at her submitting to these guys weren't like strong men. Actually, it was one guy that she had like that, and he worked, and he was a real decent guy. He was real kind to us, but she didn't stay around him long. I think it was because he required some type of order in the house. But then too, I was young, and me and my sisters were heartbroken that she let him go. But everybody after that, they were always weak men, weak guys. But I saw her submitting. So when I saw her submit to guys like that, for me, it damaged my psyche. So now what I was thinking is that the only kind of men out there are weak men, and that I have to always be able to provide. And if I want more, I have to work harder, and I have to always save. I can't think about making myself look good. I can't think about being feminine, because when you grow up like that in a modern household, you grow up thinking about, you don't think about the quality of person that you lay up with. That's why I was interested when Kevin Samuel said, you picked him. You picked that guy. And he's right, but then I was always say, well, I wish I would have known how to pick better, because I didn't know. And here's another side to modern women, or just modern overall, is that you don't, like how you were talking about with the traditional values, how you bring in the extended family members like grandmothers, grandfathers, aunts, aunties, uncles. Well, I said aunts, aunties. Well, aunties and uncles. That never happened. My mom didn't get along with her father. She didn't get along with her mother. She grew up, in a traditional household. And even when her parents divorced, her father still played a role in her life. But that's not the life that she gave us.